What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. Get pumped, Scorpio. But for those of you who are returning, oh, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just epic, Scorpio. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Harry has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why I'm so pumped, Scorpio. Because it is Celestial News Monthly. I mean, how could you not be pumped? I mean, no, with this monthly spread, Scorpio, I know I'm about to be over the top. I love the monthly spreads. But whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Scorpio. Now I have oracle cards with the zodiac signs that each of the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an oracle card from this deck for each one, and then we'll get some details with them tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Scorpio, so definitely check them out. One of them's actually a Scorpio, so definitely I think you'd like the energies that they bring. But just before we get to your oracle card here, let's talk about this party that Libra is getting ready to throw down, because you have the sun that's entering Libra, the Mercury's going to be entering Libra, and we're also going to be having a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. So real kind of jam-packed season here. But let's start with the sun, because the sun is going to enter Libra on the 23rd of September. That's going to be about 2:50 in the morning Eastern time, and we'll be there through the 23rd of October. And with this energy, Scorpio, this really is a great cycle to connect with others. You know, Libra deals with like those one-to-one relationships, whether that be in love, family, business, however that's looking. So really great energy for that as well. And to be able to see all sides of a situation. You know, Libra they're a very diplomatic sign, and they want to make sure that everything is fair and balanced. So this is a great kind of diplomatic energy as well. But also, Libra is a very artistic sign, you know, all about beauty and aesthetics. And this is a great energy for appreciating all that, the beauty that the world has to offer, whether this be maybe you go into like a municipal concert, or maybe you're going to like an art festival, or even just taking a walk around in nature, Scorpio, and just appreciating the natural beauty just around. It's really just a great energy for that. And maybe, you know, especially them being Venus ruled. But then you got Mercury that's going to be entering Libra on the 4th of October, and it will be there through the 22nd of October. And Mercury does really well in air signs, considering that one of the signs they rule is Gemini. But also, this is, like I was saying, this is a very diplomatic energy. You know, diplomacy takes center stage, and communication with others really comes into focus. So this can be a great energy if you need to do any sort of like negotiating possibly, or if you just, you know, just trying to strengthen some bonds there, because your speech and things will take on a different, like a more kind of charming energy, you know, like, and I feel like really work with that, Scorpio. But also this really helps create more harmony in our relationship. So if you've noticed there have been maybe some tension between you or some others, or, you know, or if you just noticed maybe some friends or something happening, or even at work, if you see that there's this disharmony, you know, this is a great energy for bringing that things back into balance. And then last thing, with this new moon solar eclipse that's happening in Libra, that's going to happen on the 14th of October. And this asks us to really examine the relationships in our lives, you know, whether this be, I'm even thinking not even just the relationships with people, you know, maybe even like your relationships with like your living environments, for example. And if things aren't just feeling, and it's really great energy for letting go of things that, of like letting go of unbalanced situations. So maybe even like if we're not feeling like we're getting fulfilled in our careers or in our jobs drops or anything along those lines too. Just, just tipping the scales back to where things are, resonating with you again there, Scorpio. But let's get to your first card here. Oh, I'm with it. Because you got the 6th card of Aries, which is the flag card. And with this card, this is a card of achievement, recognition, overthrow, success, victory, winner, conquest, mastery, bragging rights, carry the day. Plans are coming to fruition, and king of the mountain. And the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is to carry the day. And I like that. It looks like maybe for some... I almost feel like with this energy that there's this need to... I don't know, kind of take charge over, and not to say that you're not in control of what's going down, Scorpio, but I feel like it's more so like really kind of taking charge of the day and like really kind of setting your intentions when you like see how the sun's rising here. It's just like, what do you want to get accomplished today? What can make you feel like you are king of the mountain, king of the world, and like really being intentional with what you're doing. And, maybe this is starting off, maybe you're setting like a, oh, I mean, this might be something kind of cool, Scorpio. Maybe first thing you get up, post something on your. I'm just picturing like an affirmation or like some kind of like mantra on your ceiling that's like, all right, Scorpio, you're the boss, and you're gonna own this, and like you got this, like you're a winner. You're like doing stuff like that, or I used to know a buddy who would post like positive affirmations and things on his bathroom mirror, because it's just like the last thing you're doing before you mirror, just kind of checking sure that everything's in order. And what better way to kind of get yourself geeked up than to do those kind of reminders, because our thoughts are very powerful, Scorpio. And I feel like once we get into that energy all the time, it helps us even tackle things when we're facing challenges and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily make them go away, but it just helps you see from a higher perspective so that we can carry this day with confidence. And it's not to say and there are going to be days where you do still feel kind of low energy and it's just like, oh, do I really need to do this? But even during those days, it's just like, right, it's like bringing whatever your 100% is that day, but as long as it's 100, I feel like that's all that, you kind of get what I'm saying there, Scorpio. But let's get some tarot on this. I like that. Because I was actually telling Cancer this. I feel like with where the energies are at right now, I feel like this is a really great kind of energy here for the water and the earth signs. I feel like in particular right now, the energies are looking, real tight there. I'm with that. Oh, you know what? All right, Herb, we'll talk about your ruler next. Because Mars has been coming out quite a bit. Let's see what's going down here. I really like that as your start here. That's really dope, Scorpio. Oi, oof. That would have been less dope, huh? Hold on. 78 card pickup. Let's not do that. And that's something too, Scorpio. Now that I actually said that. When you're setting those intentions and things, I feel like we want to be, because the universe is kind of tricky when it comes to those types of things. Like when we're going to set these intentions, we don't want to focus on what we're not going to be doing, if that makes sense. We want to focus on what we are going to accomplish. Just like, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not going to do that, because that energy is still out there. It's like we're still attracting that stuff where it's just like, I'm feeling motivated. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. It changes. It's those little nuances, and it can be a lot, Scorpio. But those little things do make a big difference. But let's see what's going on for you here, Scorpio. Scorpio, come on, I'm with it. So you have Oh, I can barely hold on to you, Scorpio. So powerful. Got you here, the Death card, the Tower, your ruler, one of your rulers. Oh yeah, we're definitely talking about Mars and Scorpio next. I love that. Then you got the Knight of Pentacles and then the Four of Wands. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Working with intention. We're bringing change, baby. I'm with it. And I feel that that's what's getting ready to happen here, Scorpio. It's like changing up how you go about going about your day. Going about like bringing... Because when I'm thinking about the Tower, the Tower's about that foundation. When something's not working, it's changing up that structure, because maybe for some it's just like we've gotten, even in this, maybe like this I'm almost feeling like this sort of like maybe been feeling kind of stuck in a rut as of late with the Knight of Pentacles is kind of coming through. It just seems like it's the same old stuff. And I feel that there's this need to just kind of revitalize the energy a little bit. You know, find different ways to celebrate the day. And because that's seriously, that's sick. And considering your ruler's about to be in your sign here soon, I feel like that's great energy for Mars. You know, Mars deals with our energy, our and how our drive, our action. If you haven't been feeling that passion for life, is kind of what I'm getting with the Tower here. Yeah, let's figure out how we can fix that, because you are capable of doing that, Scorpio, because you are the sign of change and transformation. And I feel like when you're always changing and growing, that it's, you know, I'm even feeling too, because like the Knight of Pentacles, and there's a deck, and I might actually get this deck because I do like it, but there's a deck when it'll describe the Knight of Pentacles as one of the things they put in there is like if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And not to say you're going to be failing anytime soon, Scorpio, but it's just more so like what's going to be your game plan every day, you know, just like, and I mean just again in how we're getting invigorated. And I really like that, Scorpio. But let me get a little bit more on you, since you want to come through here all center stage. I love that. Thank you. I like that, Scorpio. So the Death card is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. And I feel like that, Scorpio, you're getting ready to, I feel like with, you know, you start setting these intentions and working on these ways of like tackling this stuff in a way that helps you grow. I feel like it's going to help you really kind of access, you know, access your resources and really kind of make the most of your potential. And because this little combo here, I do feel like it's, I don't know. It's like I feel like it's gonna get you even thinking about new horizons, maybe new opportunities. You know, maybe again, like if we've been feeling in this kind of rut here, maybe it's like getting out. This could even be like maybe like changing up your routine as far as like maybe getting out for walks, or maybe even like if you have a certain way of going to work, maybe changing that up, or just like I feel like it's like these little tweaks and things that if you start implementing them, they're going to affect you in very big ways there, Scorpio, and really get you to a place of, because look at that, we went from Three of Wands putting in this stuff here, working on this expansion, to Four of Wands celebrating, you know. And but yeah, let's get a game plan here, Scarp, because I do like this is what I'm talking about, syncing up with the energies in a real great way here. Right? Bam. That's what's good, Scorpio. Fantastic start. Let's have you and Mars center stage there. I like that. And since Mars wanted to come out so bad, let's talk about Mars in your sign, because Mars is going to enter Scorpio on the 11th of October and will be there through the 24th of November. So yeah, that's a nice little time there, Scorpio. Take that a little over a month there to really kind of be this. This is a great energy for just like, there's a greater ability for perseverance and to really work through difficult challenges. And you know, when you think about your sign, Scorpio, yes, Scorpio energy can be intense, and sometimes like when you have Scorpio like as placements, there can have been some harder things that can happen, you know, that have had to push you to change. But it's those difficult situations, even though you consider like the most intense sign, it's those, and the intensity of those situations is what makes you so resilient, you know, what gives you that persevering type of energy that keeps that drive. And that's what I feel is kind of happy. Well, that's what's happening with Mars and it being in your sign. And this is a great energy too for doing some self-examination, because you know your energy is about, you know, about pulling things from the depths, and you know, like I feel like it's pulling that, again, that potential to the surface and really seeing yourself in a different kind of light there. So that's great energy for that. But one thing to be mindful of, because Mars does so well in your sign, you know, Mars can be an aggressive energy. So we just want to be mindful of any sort of extra aggression and things along those lines, and maybe find healthier outlets to kind of channel that stuff if you do notice that you've been, or if you do notice that is something that that might happen there, Scorpio. And depending on where your placements are at, Scorpio, this is going to be forming a conjunction with your sign. And so it's like any of your Scorpio placements is going to take on that Martian type of energy. So you might be feeling a little more like invigorated again, like more energy that's coming through, So, and it can be a little uncomfortable at first. Conjunctions are very interesting energies because it's just like it's this blending of the two of your natal sign, and it's like relighting that placement up. And so people might even start noticing these changes before you do, Scorpio, but know that they are happening, and it is working towards you getting towards your highest vibration. So definitely something to think about there. But I like that. Let's get let's get an oracle on this. Nice. Thank you. It looks like we might be going on a trip here, Scorpio. I like that. 3 Wands could be about that too, because you got the 5th card of Gemini, which is a yacht card. And with this card, this is a card of adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind, self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, and extravagant. And I love it, Scorpio. The energy that's coming through is the adventure. And I feel like that, one, it's, again, considering we were talking about that carrying the day, it's like seeing life as an adventure. I feel like where your perspective at, and that really applies for all of us, but I feel like especially for you in this coming month, I feel like it's seeing life through a different type of lens. It's like that I'm getting like full energy that's coming through there. And I feel like one of your readings, and this is when I had realized that there were 2 fools in this deck. Both the fools had came out for just your sign. It was like maybe 2 months ago when that happened. And I feel like that there is this like this need for like this carpe diem, but this doesn't even necessarily have to be in just like your everyday, like, or like just like your everyday. It's like I'm even getting more of or getting to, this can be even like going on like an internal adventure, like a journey of self-discovery, since we're talking about that with Mars energy, really about learning who you are and what you want to be on this journey. What are you trying to manifest, and what ways do you want to affect the world, and really again tapping into that Queen of Pentacles. What resources do you have at your disposal? Are we making the most of our abilities here, Scorpio? That's really exciting. I love that. Let's get some tarot on this. I was telling Cancer and Leo that I need to make shuffling these cards like a regular practice, because I love these cards. They are interesting to shuffle. Thank you. All right, Scorpio, let's see what's going on here. Oh, come on, Scorpio. Your other rulers here, I told you it's about to be lit. So you have the Judgment card, Pluto. So let's put that. Hold on, let me before I get into it. So you got the Judgment card, the Hanged Man, the 8 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, and then the 2 of Cups here. Oh wait, that says 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, 2 of Cups, 7 of Cups. Get myself together. I'm just so excited for you, Scorpio, because again, there's a rebirth that's happening here with the Judgment. There's this, you coming into your higher octave, because it's funny, Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. So look at you. And I feel like with the Hanged Man, it is, I feel like you're seeing, this can be a great energy for you to see things in a different light, to view life from a different perspective. It's not that you don't already love life, Scorpio, but I feel like that there's I feel like a more to celebrate than I feel like that we realize, even in those, when we're in those sort of like more kind of deeper, kind of darker energies there, when we're, because I feel yours is a sign, water signs feel in a way that's because my sun signs in Cancer, and where we can feel a lot. I feel that it's something where, sometimes I feel like with your sign being the fixed water sign, you can get kind of locked in on a particular emotion, where Cancer feels a lot and Pisces kind of feels a lot. You feel a lot too, but it is a little bit different. When you get fixed on it, I feel like it's a little bit tougher than most. But I feel like if we can keep that perspective in mind, and it's not that it takes away from the situation, or makes it any less any less like arduous or anything along those lines. But it does help keep that hope, that and realization that this isn't gonna last forever. And it's like maybe finding different tools and things, I feel like, when in dealing with this stuff. But I do feel like it's like you're getting in a newer type of routine with the Eight of Pentacles. You're gonna be working on, I don't know, like it feels like that as soon as you start working, or as you're working on this stuff, like more opportunities are going to open up for you. And this is I like this card. This is Venus in Scorpio, the Seven of Cups. And I feel like there is going to be, yeah, just like cause for celebrations here, and really just like a coming together of you, and like your, however you connect with your higher self, whether it's through future self, angels, ancestors, spirits. But yeah, there's just some sort of deeper connection that I feel like is kind of forming with the Two of Cups. But I also feel like in this energy, because you have had some kind of tougher readings over the last couple of weeks, and I do feel like there is this nurturing energy that's needed to take care of too, Scorpio. Just kind of make sure that we're, if that's something that's something that resonates with you, just making sure that we are kind of taking through and seeing how sometimes when we do get fixated on something like that, how much that of ourselves we sacrifice to these situations, and how we can again just kind of see things from a newer type of light there. It's really exciting is what I'm kind of seeing there, Mark. I'm with this. This is dope. Let's put your other ruler here, because you're doing it, Scorpio. Yeah. Oh, all right. We're gonna switch this whole thing up, Scorpio. We're just going for it. Because yeah, let's talk about your other ruler since he decided to pop up here. Let's talk about Pluto and Capricorn. Because with with Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto's finally going to be going direct on the 10th of October, and will be in Pluto pretty much until, Pluto in Capricorn pretty much till about Aquarius season, around the like late January. And with this energy, Scorpio, this is very world changing energy. Because both Pluto and Capricorn are very much about success and very power oriented, and that's where I feel like it's happening for you. You are really coming in your power in a very strong type of way here. Is what's coming through here, Scorpio. And I feel that you work with that, like work with that kind of Plutonian energy. It's gonna be dope. But also, this really kind of forces us to face our feelings about power and corporations and governments. And there's a lot of changes that have been happening, as I'm sure you've noticed too. Like, and I don't really keep up with necessarily watch the news, but I do. I work with the people, and so I get to hear all about this stuff. And there are a lot of changes that are going on, Scorpio, with the governments and what power looks like. And I feel like that the energies are getting ready to move from this more sort of like corporation type of energy to, we're getting into Aquarius now, where Aquarius is about freedom and about friends and the collective and the future and wishes, associated with like the 11th house. And we're going to get in a very innovative period over the next couple decades that Pluto's in Aquarius, and you're going to be feeling that energy more than most, Scorpio, because that is one of your rulers. And a lot of questions that are going to be asking, if you want to change, if you don't like how maybe corporations are operating, maybe we're, doing something about that, or maybe if you've been don't care for how things have been going on in government. There has been a lot of, well, not a lot, but a little bit of like this advocacy type of energy that's going through here. And Libra energy, it can be about that type of justice. I'm thinking justice card, with them. And you may well too, want to transform. So, social order is going to transform. It's just a lot that's getting ready to come down, because Pluto really does bring stuff to light, and it forces this deep kind of radical change there. And depending on where your Scorpio placements are at. Now, this is going to be more sort of towards like the tail end, because Pluto, I want to say, is retrograded up to about the 27th degree before he starts moving back forward. So something you're going to definitely need to know, like your time of birth, to get a little more accurate taste. But this is forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles, where they're after trines, they're very fortunate energies. You know, very collaborative and pretty easy flowing energy, but it's one of those, it's a passive energy. It's not very dynamic. It's something where we got to really do something with it. It's just like, it's one thing to know that you have all this potential, but it's just like, are we really accessing it to our fullest? You know, that's where it's kind of sextile energies at. But let's get some tarot on, or get an oracle on this. Oh, Scorpio. I figured water signs were about to bring it. Because you got the second card of Leo's, which is the Pioneer card. Looking at you, Scorpio. And even, too, just a sidebar, when I actually was thinking about your last couple readings, there have been this energy. You got, like, the curtain call card. Like, I know, right, your readings left an impression. We got a little emotional there a couple times. But you got, like, a... Let's talk about this Pioneer card. Because you got, this is the card of boldness, destination or bust, the cutting edge, long journey, trailblaze, true grit, challenge, navigating uncharted territory, resourceful, team, got your six, and unflappable courage. And the energy that's coming through here is the trailblaze. Yeah, I like that, Scorpio, because that's what I do. I feel that Scorpio energy is one where you do, it feel like it's like taking your experiences, and I feel like it's like, how can we take that stuff to help initiate some sort of change, to get stuff, because I do feel like that, you know, Scorpio energy it's you know, we're all very unique, you know, in the signs, but I feel like that you can be, in considering too, again, that you're getting ready to, because we already got a flavor of Pluto in Aquarius. And that's where I feel like while he was there, it's like maybe some of us had already been thinking about some, you know, been feeling inspired. And it's just like that, I feel like it's paying attention to your higher self. You know, if you have any sort of, like, if you've been feeling like having a lot of ideas, maybe as of like been feeling really prolific, or if you've been, I don't know, even if you're like you're an active dreamer, maybe there's some messages in your dreams or something along those lines. You know, this isn't, we're getting ready to get to an age where the only crazy idea is the one that's not being implemented. And sometimes, you know, our ideas may seem a little fantastic, but, in which we're going to move that around, because that's kind of what Saturn and Pisces is asking about. But it's just like, how can we take our dreams and things and really kind of ground these energies, Scorpio, and like kind of set the standard for others? Because I feel like that being an inspiration can be world changing, even if it's on just like a small scale. You might just inspire like your neighbor, might inspire a coworker, but you're not even sure how that ripples. You know, like, we're all connected in a beautiful type of way. And you know, I'm always telling with your sign, you know, if there wasn't any Scorpio energy, none of that change, everything would be a hot mess. And so I feel that, you know, we are getting ready to shift, Scorpio, so you could be at the forefront of that, especially if there's something you've been, because I feel like you really do have a very, very deep intuition. And so, you know, pay attention to those messages and things. But let's get some tarot on this. Because, I mean, come on, Tower, Judgment, you. That's radical. That's some radical change right there. And this might even be, even you just working on yourself may even inspire others to carry that energy as well. You're shifting perspectives. People are just like, oh, look at Scorpio. What's got them so geeked up or something along those lines. But you don't doubt the power of inspiration and influence and things like that, Scorpio. But let's see what's going on here. Oh, and here's hubby. I like that. Alright, Scorpio. So you have your opposite sign, Taurus, the Hierophant. And then you have the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and then the Four of Pentacles. And look at you, King of Pentacles, coming in, changing the game up. And maybe this is for some, you know, maybe we are getting into like positions of power. I'm even kind of feeling with the King of Pentacles. And even just thinking with like the Hierophant. You know, the Hierophant is one that really, he has a lot of knowledge that he wants to share. Where his wife, the High Priestess, more so is about that sort of like that working on those rituals and, you know, being connecting with source and the privacy. You know, the Hierophant is there to deliver that he has a message to share, this wisdom. And I feel like maybe for some, just with this Kings in here, there's something here that it's like maybe we've been, I don't know, it's like maybe you've had some sort of ideas and something along those lines that we've been kind of holding on to. Maybe we've been doubting if we can do this stuff. But I feel that if you were to, again, tap into these reserves, you know, maybe you've been wanting to, again, maybe go for like a managerial position or some sort of position of power. You know, maybe you're thinking about doing something with like politics, or maybe even being like a leader for like your community, or something along those lines. Any sort of like innovative, or maybe you even want to like do something on like social media where you're trying to, you know, influence change and things along those, trying to get others inspired, you know, really raise that vibration. I feel like, you know, don't try not to, and, you know, Scorpio, I would never tell you what to do, but I feel like it's really going to be very beneficial for you, especially getting ready to come into, again, to when your ruler moves into Aquarius for a while. I feel like you're really going to be in a very prolific type of state there, and who you connect with, I feel like is going to be very important in the lives that you may affect. And I'm even kind of getting with this Hierophant. It's like maybe for some, it's like we have these skills, but maybe we're not sure how to really work with them. It's like, or not sure how to hone them efficiently. And so maybe there's someone where we're looking for a mentor, possibly. You know, maybe a King of Pentacles, a King of Swords, someone with some wisdom, and then you can pass down. All right, the Scorpio. Come on. All right. Now, let's talk about Pisces energy, because we have Saturn and Neptune are both retrograde in Pisces, and Saturn is going to be retrograde until the 4th of November. And with this energy, this really is like asking us if have we been working towards our dreams and trying to get that stuff to manifest. And if not, you have all the tools at your disposal. Saturn's just like, let's see what you got. You know, let's go, trailblazer, carry the day. Be and that's even something too. Now I'm thinking about that. It's just like maybe for some, it's just like, because here's the thing. It's just like we may think that something we've done, you know, it's already been done. So it's like, how can we make it? Or, you know, it's already been done. So why would I do it? It's just like, it's no different than when like me doing tarot compared to the other hundreds of tarot readers or however many. You know, it's just like everyone has their own little flavor that they bring, you know, and we're all experiencing this life very different. But, you know, Saturn and Pisces too is, you know, anytime the energies when you're in like Pisces energy is very, very intuitive. Pisces is a very psychic sign, and they're about spirituality. And I feel that we are in a time of really connecting to source. Like the energies have been feeling very different, and things are changing. And that's going to be over the next 3 years. I feel like by 2025 things are going to be, and which is like duh, but I feel like they're going to be different in a way that we don't see coming. And we're going to get into an energy of action here soon. And you know, connecting with higher source, or with higher sources and higher self and things, and to, you know, to, I don't know, it's like making the most of that, because there are some, if you listen to those intuitive messages and things, it's great stuff can happen there, Scorpio. And it helps too to access this with Neptune being one of the rulers of Pisces. She's going to be retrograde until the 6th of December. And with this, it's like the curtain has been lifted up, Scorpio. Now we can really have a deeper connection to those universal energies. And this is really, it's, you know, it's just, we're in a very kind of like, with the outer planets, we're in a very kind of spiritual time right now, in a time of like taking that spiritual energy and grounding this stuff, you know. Let me switch it up a little bit. Yeah, because we're going to talk about Taurus next, I think. And it's like, I'm thinking about the future and grounding this stuff. But the thing with the kind of trickiness with Neptune in retrograde in Pisces is that it's being aware of any sort of, because the Hanged Man is Neptune, and it's being aware of any sort of like escapism and things along those lines that might be getting in the way of your journey, that might be keeping you from trailblazing and carrying the day, and like keeping that veil, or keeping that connection foggy in things, because Mercury, Neptune does deal with like illusions and fantasies, and sometimes we can get lost in that, Scorpio. So we want to be mindful of that. And the nice thing about this energy is that depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a trine with your sign. And trines are the most fortunate aspect. They create luck and opportunities. They pretty much clear the way out for you, Scorpio, to really achieve what you want. So really work with this stuff here, because I really feel like some great stuff. And again, it doesn't matter how big or how small, Scorpio, just as long as we're working towards our dreams and feeling that sense of fulfillment, Saturn's going to be happy with that, and bet you'll be happy with it too. But let's get an oracle. Interesting. All right, Scorpio. So you have the fourth card of Virgos, which is the handcuffs card. And with this card, this is a card of control, defenseless, target, handicapped, held back, prey, suppress, need to break free, detained by external forces, applying force, incapacitated, submit, and feeling powerless. An energy that's coming through here is the suppressed, Scorpio. And I feel like for some, if you are in an environment that maybe, or maybe you're dealing with a relationship possibly that feels like it's suppressing you, or that it's got this sense of control, that, or where you're not able to really live to your fullest like you want to, then I feel like we are in an energy of reevaluating that type of stuff. We're in a very, we're just getting like, the retrogrades are kind of lightening up a little bit, but we're still going to be pretty retrograde heavy till about the end of the year, minus Pluto going direct in October. But we still got four big players that are going to be retrograde for, oh well, no, like until like about November. It's going to start lightening up a little bit, but I do feel like that as this stuff is, retrograde is like once we're done with the retrograde, it's just like it's taking what you've learned from that, and how are we going to put that stuff back into action moving forward. So that's one thing I feel to think about. Again, whether this is a relationship, maybe this is a job, maybe this is substances, whatever this, maybe even a location. It's like you're just paying attention to all those things that are not that are keeping you from accessing your fullest potential. And even just thinking too, since we're talking about that escapism, seven of cups for me can also be like a prelude to a devil moment. So we just want to be mindful of that. But also, I do feel that there's this energy too, that if you are just suppressing your energies, and like if it's like you that's getting in the way of that, because when I'm thinking about like Pisces energy, they're associated with the 12th house, and that house can kind of deal with like hidden enemies as well. And I feel like that the biggest hidden enemy that we have sometimes can be ourselves. Whether that's getting into like energies of like self-deprecation, doubting our skills, or just bringing our, just, and we just want to be careful of that, because our thoughts are very powerful, and we are, and it's just like how it seems like it's like how I was talking about how we're changing up the routine of things. I feel like once you start changing that stuff, it's like the shackles are going to start kind of coming off. You're going to feel a lot freer and a lot more able to, I don't know, just tap into those higher forces. Even thinking, because like the Hierophant, he's also like a conduit. He's the bridge between the spiritual world and the material world. So a lot of cool stuff going on here, Scorpio, but we just got to pay attention to things that might be holding us back. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so you have the Five of Wands, the Five of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and then the Hermit here. And I feel like with the Hermit, there's this energy of just needing to kind of go within and just paying attention to areas that are preventing us from really shining our light. And even with like the Eight of Swords, because this can be, it's like it can be like we're like kind of trapped in our heads, whether this has been maybe people like might be kind of gaslighting you, or there is or just any ways that we feel like kind of hopeless in a situation. It's just like the ways that we can is pay attention to like really how our thoughts and how really the thoughts of others and the influence of others can really kind of keep us trapped down here. And and I like this too, Scorpio. So really, I feel like we really pay attention to this, because this is we got the Five of Cups here. This is Mars in Scorpio, and considering both Mars and you popped up here, I feel like that, there probably going to be some, while we're dealing with this stuff and reflecting on energies that are holding us back. This could be, maybe for some there might be like maybe some loved ones that might be doing this, or it's like we thought that there was one situation here, because the Five of Cups can be like a card of disappointment. And it's like that energies of that keep us locked in on one thing and like kind of focused on like the doom and the gloom and things, and it affects our energies. But it's like with the Five of Cups, and like I'm thinking like the traditional Five of Cups, usually there's three cups that are spilled and the person is focused on that and kind of disappointed, and those energies are kind of locked in there, when there are two cups behind them, that they can new opportunities or ways to get over that type of thing. And the Five of Wands, where it can be a card of conflict, where there's conflict, then we start getting a game plan, where your Knight of Pentacles was at. And I do feel like it's like once we do get eyes on this thing, if there's something that we have noticed, then that gives you, here's that sextile energy, those aces. That gives you a chance to start something new, shift the energies in a different direction. But it's something where, again, we got to reflect and figure out, just pay attention to any things that where you feel like it's like lowering your vibration, in the sense where, like I'm just thinking, for example, if you have like a job that every time you wake up you're just like, oh, I have to do this again, that might be a sign to change things up. And again, I would never tell you to quit your job, but it is something that it's lowering your vibration, in the sense. And it's just like, and not to say that we're in love with our jobs all the time, of course there are going to be challenges, but I feel like if it's getting to the state of where it's just like you're not what I'm kind of getting at, Scorpio. It's want to pay attention to those things, those little signals that are coming through from higher self. Time to change things up. Newer perspective that's needing to come through here. All right. Now let's talk about Taurus. Because you got Jupiter that's retrograde in Taurus, and then you have Uranus that's also retrograde. And Jupiter's going to be retrograde until about to the 30th of December. And with Jupiter being retrograde, this is about thinking about, like, are we working on things of quality, and are we working on things that are building, that are going to be stable for us, because Taurus deals with like security, stability. And the thing with Jupiter is that wherever he touches it, it expands, it grows, and there's an abundance of it. But if we've been indulging in things, or been putting our energies into stuff that haven't been serving us a purpose, then it's going to, all that's going to do is it's just going to keep getting bigger, more and more and more, until we shift things up. We're working on building things of quality and stability, and even like working on just like a quality life too, because Taurus can deal with like your five senses as well, and like doing things to take care of the body, even, take care of this vessel. But and then you have Uranus that's going to be retrograde until the 27th of January 2024. And with that energy, this is, kind of looking at, newer ideas towards the future, because that's one thing, that aspect that Uranus covers. And considering, you're a trailblazer, king of the mountain, it's about like embracing new novel ideas to grow, and really thinking about just like, again, kind of long-term type of stuff. Are we working towards things that are providing that sense of security? And also too, this is an energy for you may notice that there are going to be changes in like the economy, the stock markets, and in all of those. And granted, there already been changes going on, but Uranus, still got a couple more years before he moves. So there's still plenty more that's going to be shifting here over these into getting into next year. So yeah, very interesting energy that we're in right now, Scorpio. And depending on where your placements are at, this is going to be forming an opposition with your sign. And oppositions are tougher because they create this polarity. It's your, Taurus is, and I love that too, that you got both, and see how you're syncing up with the energies. But you got, yeah, you and Taurus here. And it's usually with oppositions, it's like a situation or like a person or like a relationship or something forces us to initiate change. It's just like, how do we work with this stuff? It's an energy of decisions. And sometimes the choices we need to make is difficult, whether it's like making a move to a new place, or ending a relationship, or changing a job, or starting up a job, or something like that, or career. But oppositions are one. If you can get those two energies to work together, it's really fantastic. Those difficult tower moments and things, they can produce some really good results. But let's get some tarot, or get an oracle on this. Oh, thank you. And look at that Taurus here, because you got the 7th card of Taurus, which is the eyeglasses card. With this card, this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. An energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the evaluate options. And we were talking about with the 7 of Cups, you do have options. We can either, because I feel like maybe for some, it's like that, again, with that, I'm thinking with that suppression, maybe we've even gotten to this point where we feel like we're more limited than we really are. And it's not to say that it's going to be easy, maybe what we have to do, but it can be done. And again, you are a very resilient sign, and I feel like that, and tenacious. And I feel that if you were to just stick with that energy, and follow the stuff, because sometimes the again, where it might be something difficult, but when we work with these energies, go with that, what is like that. It's like, I don't know, I'm getting like this nagging feeling for some that may come up, where it's just like something needs to change. It's just like, I'm not liking these choices that I have right now. What can I do to make things different? And I feel like, write this stuff down, or maybe even like talk about this with someone, trying to change things up. But it's just like, we're getting like a 7 of Pentacles type of energy. It's just like, if what we're investing, about what we're really wanting to invest in. And because, yeah, Scorpio, there are options. And this could even be with like maybe if you've been wanting to start something up, maybe we felt that, someone was asking me, as far as like with like the YouTube videos, they were just like, so what, are you doing it from your phone? I was just like, well, no, I was like, no, I bought a camera for it. But it's like, you can. I know people who do that. And if you're tech savvy like that, I'm with it. It's just, it just made more, I'm getting that, Scorpio. But let's get some tarot on this. And that could be tough energy, especially with Jupiter being in there for the next year. But it's, he does bring abundance at the end of the day. And I do feel like that, again, if we're working towards our highest vibration, then that's all we're going to get, is just high vibes. And that conflict is going to, yeah, it's, thank you. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, and there's Wifey. I love that. We were just talking about you, girl. So we have the 4 of Swords, the King of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and then the High Priestess. And I feel that there is this energy of, there's this like really going within type of energy. You know, it's like trusting your intuition. If something is telling you that there's needing to change, then I feel like that it's going with that balance, because even the Four of Swords is giving me that maybe we might be get to a point where we're feeling this kind of restlessness, or maybe there's this anxiety that might come up here. You know, we've been, I don't know, it's just like we've been evaluating some things, but you know, the Seven of Swords is really meant to be like a card of like, well, one for me is like kind of like a card of resources, and it's just like really kind of tapping into what you really got there, Scorpio. But this can also be like a card of deception, and I feel like that it's like when I was talking about that suppression earlier, you know, it's just like that maybe for some there have either been people or maybe ourselves who've been telling us that we can't do something, but you absolutely can. But if we believe that and stay in that like that kind of Eight of Swords energy, then that's what's going to always be. You know, we're just perpetuating a problem. But yeah, I'm just feeling with like the High Priestess and like even like the King of Cups here. There's this deep understanding, because the King of Cups is like emotional wisdom, and I do feel that there is this deeper kind of understanding of ourselves that's really kind of coming into the mix here, and like seeing that we do have more options in this life than we realize. But there's, let me get a little bit more with the King of Cups. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. I like that. Oh, Major Arcana City. That's what's good. So you have the King of Cups is clarified by the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Sun here. And I like that, Scorpio, because I feel like it's like the more that we kind of question if, because maybe for some it's just like maybe you've been kind of getting into this place of where it seems that, I don't know, it's just like I'm getting almost like this sort of like stuck energy with the Wheel of Fortune. I like that Jupiter and Taurus popped up there. But I'm even kind of getting this energy of like with the Wheel of Fortune, it's just like, when is it going to be my turn for happiness? You know, just going towards the Sun here, because this is a very little abundant pocket. But I feel that it's going to be one where with the Fool, it's just like whenever you're ready to get started, you know, and that's really cool too, that both Uranus and Jupiter would pop up while we're talking about that, Scorpio. And that's what I'm feeling like, and I was telling Cancer this, like, there's something up with the water signs where, at least so far, I'm still kind of early in. I got Pisces still left to do, and I haven't gotten to any Earth signs yet, because I'm curious to see how theirs is about to sync up too. But I do feel like that there are these planetary, the energies are really kind of syncing up for you in a really great kind of way, and some realizations I feel like with the Sun is getting ready to pop up here. And there is going to be this abundance that's coming. You know, it's not just always going to be this tough energy that's happening, but I do feel that, you know, with this there's with this deeper understanding of yourself, Scorpio, it's gonna, I feel like a lot more doors are gonna get ready to open up for you here. But yeah, something to think about there, Scorpio. I like that. That's sick. And that's interesting too. Because even thinking about that with the Sun and the High Priestess here, the High Priestess is represented by the Moon, and then, you know, the Sun's the Sun. You know, we've got that new Moon solar eclipse. Great energies for change. All right, Scorpio. Actually, I'm gonna put both y'all over here. Let's put you over here. And then let's talk about, so I feel so bad I'm moving Virgo out down the way. Let's talk about Virgo. Because the Empress. the Emperor Venus. Venus is going to be Emperor, because she's been chilling in Leo for like a minute. She is going to be entering Virgo on the 8th of October and will be there through the 8th of November. And with this, see, this is the Empress is going to work. This is a hard working placement for the Empress. But this is really great for kind of focusing on practical matters, whether this is like maybe figuring out how to do more with our finances, because Virgo is very organized, very detail oriented, analytical sign. And I feel like it's, we can really start getting some stuff in order, start really kind of like building up. I don't know, just like really kind of building ourselves up here and really starting investing in ourselves. I feel like with this energy, but also this is really great for figuring out what is working in our relationships and what isn't. By evaluating our options and seeing what it is that we can really do. To kind of change these situations that we've been feeling restricted in some kind of ways and getting a game plan. But and the nice thing too with this energy, just like, or no, not just like, depending on where your placements are at, this is, oh yeah, just like with Capricorn, it is. It's forming a sextile with your sign. So you see, you got a lot of beneficial energies that are working with you, Scorpio. And now with Mars kind of lighting up your energies there, especially got a Scorpio sun, is going to get that, and wherever your Scorpio placements are at, it's going to get that stuff cooking up. It's in a very, very productive type of energy, I feel like, that you can be in. So, but let's take advantage of these opportunities I feel that come up, because who knows what relationships you might form, people you might meet, and interesting. So last oracle card here, you got the third card of Gemini's, which is the broken heart card. And with this card, this is the card of heartbreak, interference, sorrow, grief, funk, sadness, mourning, distress, letdown, gloomy, hopelessness, regret, crisis, unhappy, hurt, bitter, devastated, and emotional pain. Interesting. But the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the funk and the regret. And I feel like for some that it's not necessarily that you're about to do something that you're going to regret. I mean, which if we do at some point, I feel like it's because I was actually thinking about that. There was something that I had, and it was nothing serious, but something I did kind of here recently where I'm just like, oh, why did you do that? And it's like, gosh, I regret doing that. It's just like, no, let's not regret it. Let's reflect it. Let's reflect on it and figure out what happened, why you got there, and how do we not repeat that again. Because I feel like regrets are not meant to be shackles. They're not meant to just keep you down and keep you in a funk. They're meant to keep you motivated, because if you're regretting something, that shows awareness, like a real and we can only, you can choose to ignore. You're in a judgment-free zone, and we can choose to ignore that, but again, we're going to keep repeating a cycle until we start doing something about it. And considering that you got, thinking with the kings, the King of Cups and King of Swords, that's that head and heart type of balance there. And I feel like for some, if you find while you're going through this journey, if we make mistakes or do some things that we might regret or something along those lines, it's not to stay fixated on that, Scorpio. It's to figure out how we can get out of this stuff. Shine a light on, again, with the sun. What happened? Do some healing stuff with, whatever we're talking. I think you got Two of Cups. Yeah, with the Two of Cups. And then get back on that, get that wheel moving again. Keep this cycle moving, but because you got great energy here, Scorpio. And I feel like that maybe that could even feel like a lot of pressure. I mean, maybe it's not that we're doing something we regret, but it's just like that. I almost feel like that is just like, am I going to regret this down the line, or I'm not sure. But I feel like that as long as you are following your intuition, trusting in yourself, Scorpio, and growing from that. Because we're gonna make mistakes on this journey. There are gonna be challenges. It's just inevitable. So, but I feel like it's when we make peace with that, then that really helps this wheel keep moving. That really keeps the abundance happening, and it all starts to make sense in the long run because everything happens in divine timing. It's all meant to teach us, to help us grow. But towers, judgments, things like that. But let's get your last little few oracle cards, or excuse me, tarot cards. Yeah. You see what I mean? Now the Empress is here, Mark. What's good, girl? See, abundance. Thank you. All right, so clearly got, wow. So that's sick. So you have the Knight of Swords, the Empress, and the Emperor, and the Temperance card. And I actually really, I just got chills even thinking about that, Scorpio. Let's switch back over. Because I feel with the Temperance card that there is this, granted, if there's, if we are looking for maybe some sort of like relationships or things, I don't see why not, Scorpio, like that there's can be done. But with these energies here, I feel like this is more so of a balance of your masculine and feminine energies, and that things are really, you really harmonizing with yourself. And I love that too, because the Temperance card is Sagittarius, and Jupiter rules over Sagittarius along with Pisces. But you got there's a lot of growth that I feel like is getting ready to happen here, Scorpio. And I feel like things are really going to get, and listen, it's going to be work. But what the Knight of Swords is looking for, he's looking towards the future. He embraces that, like, okay, got it. So it's like, let's get it. Let's get a game plan. Let's get this stuff figured out. But I feel like with the Emperor and the Empress, it's just like you are getting to this place of where you're coming into this authority, of your life. You're seeing a game plan here, and you're getting ready to give what you give. I feel like, working towards your, I don't know, towards like your abundance and things. It's going to pay you back, because even so many things are lining up here. Mars rules over Aries as well, along with you, and because Aries is the Emperor. I'm just like, and this is just like little things, but these are like signs that I'm talking about. It feels that there's, the energy can shift in a way that you can really do some really fantastic work here, Scorpio. But I do feel that there is going to be this need, like, temperance is going to be, a big kind of factor here. I feel like as far as like where we're, I understand where we're putting our energies, the people who we're associating with, are they those things, are they affecting this flow that you got going down here? Like it's very interesting. I love how this figure is just like kind of moving this water here. But in just like paying attention to that flow, because you really do, I feel like you can feel like the undercurrent of the energy, Scorpion. You know when something's not feeling right. So that last little bit makes sense. It's very interesting. But I like that. All right, Scorpion. Hopefully you like that too. And if you did, give it a thumbs up and share this, Scorpio. Because I mean, come on, they get Scorpio coming into your Emperor and your Empress energy there, going on internal adventures, trailblazing. Breaking shackles, opening options, like living life to the fullest. Really is, oh, it's fantastic, and I would love for that for all of you. And if you haven't already, you emperors, empresses, subscribe, hit that bell button, you're notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit, if you have any Cancer in your placements, you got our, I love that you got our ruler here, but if you have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans, geek out when the High Priestess pops up. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. And that's even sick. Because here's Libra. And Venus rules over both Taurus and Libra. And this is what cause and effect, Scorpio. That's what's coming through here with the Justice card. I feel that there is this energy of seeing how what you do and seeing how that affects the world and seeing how that affects your world and then how that can potentially affect the whole world there, Scorpio. But I'm even getting a little bit, just a little bit, because the Justice card, I think we were talking about that a little bit, but mentioned about like law and things and just kind of like law things. And I feel like that maybe for some, just like evaluating our options as far as like if we're in any sort of like legal things, you know, just considering all of our options there. It's just a little, and being, and considering just because you got handcuffs there, you know, just being mindful of, not that I don't feel like, you know, you're going to get in any kind of trouble with the law, Scorpio, but just something to think about, you know, just being aware of our actions and things. And, you know, we're talking about Mars and Scorpio, like might have that little aggression. So it's just, you know, energies pop, you know, comes to my mind and you got to share it. But let's get some tarot on this before we go out. And you know what, this doesn't even have to be with like the law. This could even be with like our any sort of authority figures. You know, if you're feeling that there's this, I don't know, like this need to, I don't know, challenge or something along those lines. But thank you. Oh, I like that, Scorpio. Look at that. So you got the 41st card here. I'm gonna show you, which is the Soulmates card. And I like that because I feel like that, and considering, I mean, you got Emperor and Empress there. So, I mean, and I think what, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles came out? Yeah. So, and that is interesting too because I was kind of getting like a little bit of like power couple vibes, but I do feel like that that doesn't mean that there isn't love in there too. But I do feel like maybe for some, you know, while we're on this thing, you know, it's like as we're getting into these energies and really raising our vibrations, that even options for love can even open up. You know, it's because I wasn't getting a lot of strong love through here. And this could even be maybe with like soulmates as far as just like even like a soul tribe type of thing. Just people that we're forming deeper bonds with. Especially if we have been feeling, maybe been dealing with people in the past who had, maybe it's like we regret the friends we were with or like the people we gave so much time to. And now that we're working on this growth and this change, more people kind of come in because like we were talking about earlier, Libra deals with those one-on-one relationships. So I like that. That's a lovely, I feel like little ending there for you for really what I feel like could be really nice month for you, Scorpio. So. And again, there might be some heartbreak along this way, you know, like, you know, when I feel like when we're going through these changes, but it just gets you closer where when those doors closes, when those doors close, more open. So I don't know why that was so hard, but all right, Scorpio, I think I'm gonna get you out of here, but you stay safe out there. All this change and things, and again, just talking about, and again, authority figures, this could be at jobs, this could be with the law, whatever that's looking like. Just be mindful of that, you know, be maybe coming in a little too, coming in kind of hot. So just be mindful. And raise your vibration to the roof. Do some self-care, especially if we've been maybe feeling, you know, that suppression as of late, or maybe if you do find yourself in a funk. You know, to take some time, so you had the Four of Swords here, somewhere in this pile. But oh yeah, but you do have the Four of Swords there. So taking the time, if you do find yourself in like with a lot of anxiety or things, or maybe been feeling a lot of pressure, make sure that we are taking breaks and make sure we are taking care of ourselves as well. And I will catch you on the next one later.